The day I inherited my grandfather's 150-year-old ranch, I expected peace and nostalgia. What I didn't expect was a knock on my door and an HOA Karen storming right in. She didn't even introduce herself. She looked around the living room, sniffed, and said, "This property is now under our HOA jurisdiction. You'll need to comply with community rules." I almost laughed. My ranch sat on 200 acres, passed down through generations, and never once connected to her suburban development. But she kept going, rattling off nonsense about approved paint colors, fencing regulations, and even monthly HOA dues. "Ma'am," I said, pulling out the deed, "this land has been in my family since before your subdivision existed. Your HOA doesn't apply here." Her smile vanished. "Oh, we'll see about that," she hissed, stomping out. A week later, I got a letter, an HOA fine for non-compliance with community landscape guidelines. They demanded $2,500 for not cutting the pastures the way they wanted. That's when I called my lawyer. We went straight to the county courthouse, pooled property maps, and filed a formal complaint against the HOA for harassment. Turns out, Karen and her board had been trying to expand their jurisdiction by bullying landowners nearby. Most people paid up just to avoid trouble, but they had picked the wrong guy. Within weeks, the sheriff served them papers. They were ordered to cease contact and faced hefty fines for overstepping their legal authority. The cherry on top? The judge declared on record that my ranch was sovereign land, not subject to their HOA, and that any further harassment would be considered trespassing. When Karen showed up one last time screaming about her rights, I simply pointed to the bright red no trespassing sign I had nailed to the fence. Deputies escorted her off the property. The HOA collapsed under lawsuits from other neighbors who finally fought back. My ranch, untouched, free, and just as my grandfather left it. And every time I walk those fields, I smile knowing Karen learned the hard way. You don't mess with family land, especially land that stood long before your HOA ever did.
I'm Liam. Subscribe for more HOA madness. Thanks.